Most founders build one pitch deck and call it a day, and that can be a huge mistake. In fact, you need 6. One for each of a number of different situations and desired outcomes. One of which is very different than all of the others, and it's probably the most important and least created by founders. So let's break them all down. Welcome to Feel the Boot, the science of startups. I'm your host, Lance Cottrell, and I'm here to help you navigate that nearly vertical learning curve you're going to encounter as you build your business. I know what it's like. I've been there myself, and I've helped countless other founders along their journeys. If you're serious about fundraising for your startup, I encourage you to check out my 90-minute workshop, Fundraising Alchemy. We go deep into the art and science of building pitch decks. So let's talk about the 6 different pitches that you need to create, starting with the ones that you present verbally live with a deck. A quick note about presented decks. These don't need to stand on their own. They're there to be behind you as you present the information about your company. Each of the slides only exists to support or illustrate or enhance the point you're making. If there's enough information that someone could understand it without you talking, that means they're likely to start reading over your shoulder, and as soon as they start reading the slides, they're not listening to you, and the focus should be on you and your words. People are terrible multitaskers, so keep these slides incredibly text-light. Very few words, big headlines, maybe just a number, an image, a graph. The less you can put on there while still making that point and keeping you on track, the better. First is the speed run. This is the 3-minute deck that you're going to be using for pitch competitions and demo days. It's very short and to the point. It's only going to contain the bare essence of your business and hit on the most important strengths and opportunities that you have in front of you. There's a real temptation to try to talk faster, to pack in as much as you possibly can into that 3 minutes. I encourage you to go in exactly the opposite direction. Slow it down. It's far more important that people hear, understand, and appreciate the big points that you're making rather than trying to pack in several other things. Realistically, audiences don't remember more than about 3 things anyway, so make sure they remember the things that you want. You're just going to be hitting on the big opportunity, the traction that you've got, the distinct advantage, maybe your superpower. That's it. The second pitch is the spotlight. This 7-minute pitch is ideal for short investor meetings, founder showcases, and accelerators. This is enough time for you to be able to get across all of the key aspects of your business, show some of the details, show the business model, demonstrate the strategy, and a little bit of validation. This is probably the deck that you're going to be adjusting the most, between, say, 5 minutes, if that's all you have, all the way up to 10. It's pretty flexible, but it can't have a lot of fluff. There's not time to go into details. You're really still just hitting the high points. Make your point, get into the slide, get back out, or you're going to run over time. The third pitch is the main event. This is your full-on 15-minute pitch that you'll be using in full-length investor meetings. Now, those meetings are probably going to be scheduled for half an hour or more, but you want to leave most of that time for conversation and Q&A, and of course, prepare to be interrupted by the investors. This is when you can really dig into all the details. You'll be showing all aspects of your business, talking about go-to-market strategies, your financial projections, all of the validation you've done, your team, problem, solution, all the details are going to be in there. When someone hears this pitch, they should have all the information they need to be able to make a yes-no decision about moving to the next step. Because remember, no one who's not on TV and Shark Tank actually makes an investment just on the pitch. Fourth is the elevator pitch. This is the classic short, verbal, no slides pitch that you're delivering when the opportunity presents. It could be in the proverbial elevator when you run into someone. It might be in coffee at a conference or during a mixer at some event. But you only have a few seconds to grab this person's attention. So you only can talk about the very highest points. You want to be hitting really concrete numbers about the opportunity, the need, and why you're special, and then hopefully you'll be able to continue the conversation or set up a time for a follow-up meeting, because that's the outcome you're going for. If I was to do an elevator pitch for my company post-pivot and know what I know now, I would have said something like this. I'm bringing spycraft to the internet. It's shocking that the intelligence community doesn't have a viable way of doing clandestine operations online. We're bringing that capability, and we have a huge first mover advantage because we're building it on technology we've developed over the last decade. We have the clearances we need to get in there into this $1 billion plus greenfield opportunity, and we've already closed $2 million in contracts. So you can see we're hitting some hard numbers. We're talking about the opportunity size. I've shown that we have traction. I've shown why we have differentiation, and I've done it all in about 30 seconds. That is critical. You don't have a lot of time. You need to be high density in the information, and ideally try to make it sound natural. Don't make it sound like you're a pitch man on TV. You're having a conversation with them. It should flow, but you want to have practiced this enough that you're past that uncanny valley and can deliver this repeatedly in a tight way that always shows that value to the investor. All right, now we're past the pitches that you're delivering live and in person. And the first of the written pitches that you need to have is number 5, the cold direct message. This is what you're going to be using on LinkedIn when you're sending a DM or a short email to an investor to try to grab their attention. Short is the key here. We're talking less than 100 words. Don't get no fluff, no full sentences, God knows no paragraphs. This should be a one-liner intro, some bullets, some sentence fragments, things that really show the highlights of your business. This is your written elevator pitch. It needs to grab enough attention for them to accept your request to send follow-on information. Many founders create some of these first 5 versions of your pitch, although few create all 5. Number 6 is where the real magic happens, and it is the self-guided pitch. This is the version of the pitch that you're going to email to people. Now, I see a lot of founders who will just go ahead and email the big event, the 15-minute pitch deck that they've got, but it doesn't work because you're not talking anymore. You're not there to explain it, to provide the context. So that cool image or that one number that works so well when you're delivering it verbally makes no sense at all when it's sitting on someone's desk. So when someone requests that you send a deck ahead of time or after you've pitched, when you want to leave a leave behind, don't use your presentation deck, use the self-guided deck. This is going to have all of the same information in the full deck that you usually send out, but with explanation, with context. But this is not an excuse to go with walls of text. You can't put in full paragraphs. It still needs to be clean and tight and readable. People with modern attention spans bounce off walls of text. You also need to make sure that it will stand up to multiple styles of reading, because the first time someone reads your deck, they're likely to be skimming it quickly to see whether it's worth spending any more time on your company. You want to make sure that they say yes to that. So it has to provide good information on that skim. That's where headlines can be a real strength, rather than things like problem, solution, team, ask, explain what the problem is. People are wasting millions of dollars on this thing. We have a solution to allow them to be 10 times more efficient while also delivering higher quality. We have the people who built the last version of this for this big company, and we've split out on our own to crush them at their own game. These are the kinds of headlines you want to be using that explain the point of the slide, and then the body of the slide has enough text that when they go back and read it to get all the details, they can understand the nuance of your business model, your revenue streams, the validation that you've done, why you're the right team to be doing this, right? All the information that you normally would be delivering verbally needs to come through in the written deck. But few people bother to separate these two versions. They're either using a wordy deck verbally, or they're trying to use a streamlined deck for email. They're both failures. Thanks for watching this episode. I hope you found it useful and interesting. Now, this is really just the tip of the fundraising iceberg. I've got the pitch deck alchemy workshop. It's 90 minutes. It goes into a huge amount of depth on all the aspects of how to build a truly effective deck. And it's just one of, at the time of recording, 12 full-length workshops that I've built on different aspects of the fundraising process. If you're serious about getting capital for your startup, I encourage you to check it out. I'll put a link to the workshop there and of course down in the description. If you enjoyed this episode, please do the usual: like, subscribe, and ring that bell. It helps the channel immensely and makes sure that you will see more content like this. And until next time, ciao.